Introduction to chart trading. The chart widget provides you with the ability to enter orders directly within the chart, as well as monitor and interact with the markets by displaying fills and working orders. When you enable trading in a chart, an order pane is shown on the side of the chart for easy access to accounts, order types, time in force, position, and order quantity fields. Bid and ask columns are placed within the widget for quick and easy single-click order placement. Filled and working orders are visible and actionable from within the widget itself. Here's a quick demonstration and image of just a basic chart trade panel that you'll see on the chart, which we'll get into later in this video. We'll demonstrate how to place orders. But just want to show you a couple things. As you can see here, this is the depth of market that's visible right on the chart trader. And this is the chart trader panel that's displayed on the right side. So a couple things I just want to point out. You can see the ask column with market depth highlighted here. You can see you can click here to actually place orders, which we'll demonstrate. Same with the buy side as well. This is where you place canceled orders, or you can cancel working orders such as sells, buys, and all working orders. This is your position indicator, as you can see here. This is where you would select your account number. So if you have multiple accounts, you can hit the drop-down menu, choose different accounts. This is the different order types, which we'll demonstrate as well. Default order quantity goes here. This is how many contracts you would actually, or this is where you would actually input the order quantity. And then you have your fill indicators on the chart, and you also have your working buy orders and sell order indicated right on the actual market depth chart trader panel as well. So just want to show you this quick image. I expect to see some of these things pop up as we demonstrate and progress through the video. When trading on a chart, you can enter orders within the chart, display working orders and fills, modify working orders, cancel working orders, and display information for fills in an interval. Entering orders on a chart. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to right-click in the chart, and we're going to click Enable Trading in the context menu, as demonstrated. When you do this, you can now see the chart trader panel has been activated on the right side of the chart. Keep in mind, the show fills and show working orders setting in the local chart settings are enabled by default when you enable trading. If you'd like to turn them off, you can always right-click on the chart and go to Settings. And then you'll see right here under the trading section, Show Fills and Show Working Orders, you have the ability to check or uncheck those particular confirmations if you do not want to see them. All right, I'm going to keep them on for now, but by default they are enabled. But if you do want to turn them off, just simply right-click on the chart, go to Settings, and you can see the options are here. In the order pane to the right, you can select an account from the drop-down here. I only have one demo account. If you have multiple accounts at AMP, for example, and they're linked, you can go ahead and hit the drop-down menu and select multiple accounts from this particular drop-down here. You can also choose the different order types here, as you can see, and also the different time and force, whether it's a day order, good till cancel, fill or kill, good till date, and so forth. Pretty much these particular settings, you can always use the default settings for each values as you change them. So anytime you pull up the panel, it will stay in that state. The next step is you want to then enter an order quantity. So you can either type in the value here. You can just left click and just type it in with your keyboard. Use your default order quantity here. So the default order quantity, whatever value that you have set, every time you execute a trade, it will default your order quantity to that value. So if I have a 1 there, as you can see, every time I execute a trade, it's always going to default my order quantity to 1. All right, you can use one of the quantity buttons here. So if you click 1, it would just add, if I already had a 1 there, it would just add a 1 on top of that, which would be 2, for example. If I hit 5, it would be 7, and so forth. You can clear it out. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. Just basically, there are different methods to inputting the order quantity, whether you want to type it in, or you can use the default order quantity, or use the default order quantity pad here as a source. Click a cell in either the bids, blue column, or ask column next to a price level to enter the order. When you hover on a cell, both the price and the price axis, as the cell where the cursor is hovering, are highlighted to provide you with a clear indication whether you'll be entering a buy or sell order by displaying the price in blue, buy, or red sell. When you click the sell to enter the order, the buy or sell price at which you entered the order remains highlighted. So here's a couple examples of how to place trades on the chart trader. It's very simple. When you enable the chart trader, as I've demonstrated earlier, just by simply right-clicking on the chart. So let me just disable it real quick. That's what a normal chart looks like, which is not chart trading mode. We're going to right-click on the chart and then enable trading, and now you can see that the chart trader panel has been activated. All right, so you can see right off the bat at 21.45 half, that is the current last trade price. That will fluctuate and change colors depending on what the market is doing. So at this point, you see 45 quarter. That's basically the last trade price that was a downtick, and if it's white, neutral. If it's green, the last trade price was an uptick. All right, so it's similar to the MD trader. The only difference is you cannot actually see the depth of market values on the chart trader just yet. Hopefully that will be something that will be developed in the near future, but as of right now, not available just yet on the chart trader. Now, to place a trade, it's very simple. You would just basically take your mouse cursor. You have two columns. You have a blue column, you have a red column. And in the blue column, if you notice when you hover your mouse cursor, you can see that it will give you an indication letting you know where your mouse cursor is hovered. And notice when I change, because right now if you notice the order type is set to limit, there can only be certain order types that can be placed on certain sides of the market. So for example, a buy limit can only be placed below the market price, and a sell limit can only be placed above the market price. So if you notice, when I hover my mouse cursor above on the sell side now, you can see how the color code changes on the price itself. So that's a good indication to let you know what type of transaction you're going to place by simply wherever your mouse cursor is hovered. So in this case, you can see that the price is red. That's going to be a sell transaction. If you go onto the blue side, you can see now the price changes to blue. So try to make a habit of looking at the particular price where your mouse cursor is hovered and look at the color code to get an indication of what action you're doing, whether you're buying or selling. So short answer, buying, it will be blue. Red, it will be a sell. The next step is just by simply left-clicking in the appropriate column to place the trade. So let's say in this case I want to place a buy limit at 21.40. So I'm just going to simply left-click in the blue column at 21.40, and now you can see the order is visibly working on the actual chart. All right, so we'll get into how to modify, how to cancel the orders. This is a quick demonstration of how to place the trades right on the chart trader panel. Setting a default order quantity. The order pane displays the default order quantity field immediately below the quantity buttons. The value in this field populates the order quantity field after each trade. If you blank out the default order quantity field, the order quantity field becomes persistent with a yellow background color and remains the same quantity after each submitted order. All right, so the default order quantity, as mentioned earlier, is this box right here, right underneath the quantity calculator pad that you can see there. So I have it set to 1 at this moment, and as I mentioned, every time you execute a trade, it's going to default the order quantity to whatever value you have set in this box. If you have nothing set there, for example 0, as you can see right now I have a 1 lot. Watch what happens when I place a trade. You can see now that that goes to 0 because the default order quantity is 0. All right, now if I don't have anything there, so there's no value whatsoever, you can see now that that yellow background, as mentioned just a moment ago, will display if you have no value set. All right, so it's up to you if you want to set a default order quantity. If you're a 1 lot trader, for example, and you only know you'll be executing 1 lot increments, then it might be ideal for you to put a value of 1 there. So whenever you execute a trade, the value remains as 1. Filtering orders by account. To filter working orders per account in the order pane, select an account and click the filter checkbox. I do apologize, I don't have multiple accounts tagged or linked to this particular demo ID, so I don't have the ability to demonstrate. It's a pretty straightforward function. I'll explain exactly what this does. So let's just pretend that you do have multiple accounts at AMP and you're using one login to access multiple accounts. So when you hit this drop down, you'll actually see the multiple accounts listed here. And if you're trading across multiple accounts, perhaps you only want to see working orders for a specific account. So all you would need to do is make sure that you select that specific account from the drop-down menu and just check the filter option, and therefore the filter will only see working orders or positions for that particular account. Net position indicator. The order pane displays your net position per account and instrument. A long position is highlighted with a blue background, and a short position is highlighted with a red background. Keep in mind, the position value is shown only if you enable filtering or only if one account is available for the instrument. All right, so in this case, you could see this is the position display right here. So at this moment, I'm long 5, and as mentioned, long is represented by a blue background. Let me go ahead and just close out the trade real quick and show what a short position looks like. And there you go. All right, so just sold one at the current market price, and then you can see the difference here. You have a red background, and also it shows a negative sign representing a short position. Last traded price. The last traded price, LTP, is displayed at the inside market. The background of the last trade price will be highlighted red when the contract trades on a downtick or green when the contract trades on an uptick. The background is white when the last trade price is the same as the previous last trade price. So as mentioned earlier, this is 21.4575, December mini S&P. This means the last trade was exactly the same as 21.4575, which was the previous last traded price. And now you just saw it go to 46, which was an uptick. If it were to bounce back down to 45.75, as you just saw, it was a quick red, and then another trade came in, and it was white. So short answer, green, uptick, red, downtick, white, basically a neutral trade, traded at the same price from the previous trade. And that's basically identified by looking at the shades in the price column to the right of the chart. Canceling orders on a chart. To cancel a working order at a specific price level, simply click the X next to the working order at the desired price. To delete multiple orders, click one of the cancel buttons in the order pane in the chart. Cancel S will cancel all working sell orders for the selected instrument. Cancel all will cancel all working orders for the selected instrument. Cancel B cancels all working buy orders for the selected instrument. And keep in mind, once again, if you're filtering per account, only orders for that account will be canceled. All right, so this is pretty straightforward. You can see to the right here, the chart trader panel, you have the cancel S, cancel all, cancel buy buttons. Let me demonstrate first how to cancel orders directly off the chart trader. It's very simple. Just simply hit the X that you see visible to the right of the order type. So in this case, I have a buy limit working at 2133.75. I'm just going to left click on the X, and the order is now canceled. All right, so that's pretty much the easiest way to cancel orders right off the chart. Let me place a few more trades here, or working orders better yet. All right, so now you can see you have these buttons here. So if I were to hit cancel S, it's only going to cancel the working sells, as you can see. If I hit cancel B, it's only going to cancel the working buys, as you can see. And if I hit cancel all, it will cancel both working buys and sells. And now you can see both orders are now canceled. So that's pretty much multiple methods on how you would cancel orders, whether you want to cancel them directly off the chart or if you want to cancel them directly from using the order panel with these quick buttons that you see here. Displaying fills and working orders. From a chart, you can track your working orders and fills for the associated instrument by displaying them directly on the chart. By displaying this information on a chart, you can easily see how your orders and fills relate to the analytical data. When your fills occurred, how long your orders have been working, your trade activity over time, and so on. To display fills or working orders, you enable the Show Fills and Show Working Orders widget settings. Again, keep in mind, fills and working orders can be displayed and orders can be modified when the order pane and buy and sell columns either hidden or shown in the chart. All right, so here's a couple examples of some orders that I have working with a position that I have established. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, if you want to access the ability to see these orders visually on the chart, these are the fill confirmations here. These are the actual working orders. Just remember, right-click on the chart, go to Settings, and then you'll see the checkboxes for Show Fills and Show Working Orders. Pretty straightforward. There's only two options at this moment, but typically you probably want to have these checked if you decide to use the chart trader within the platform. All right, so let's go over some of the displays of the different order types and just to kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at. All right, so in this case, this is a stop order. You're going to see total order quantity, which for stop orders, because it is a resting order until the market hits the stop order, then triggers off the market order to the exchange. That's why you see 0 and 0. U represents undisclosed quantity, so that's why it's an undisclosed quantity of 3, because the order hasn't been sent to the exchange yet because the market hasn't reached the stop price just yet. SM basically means stop market. All right, and then you have also, in this case, a limit order. When you fire off a limit order, it is at the exchange. So the minute you fire off the limit order, it is actually visible and at the exchange. So you can see the order quantity, and you can also see the order type, which represents LMT. And then you also have your fill indicators. So the red markers will represent the sell transactions, and the blue markers will represent the buy transactions. So one of the things I was trying to do earlier, it was tough because at this point in time it's about 6:51 p.m. California time, so there's not a whole lot of volatility in the markets. I was trying to scale into the position at different prices, but I wasn't able to get a different fill price. But what I wanted to show you is when you hover your mouse cursor over these little markers, it will show you what the total position is on top, and then also it will show you, the order of, or the transactions that you actually executed. The one thing that I've noticed is if you don't have a whole lot of space, as you can see here, the last candle is right along the border of the actual market depth chart panel. Just grab one of those markers and just move, or you could just actually grab the chart and just drag it while holding down the left click just a little bit to the left, so you can just have yourself a little more space to work with in terms of the region to see these confirmations on the actual chart itself. So just simply left click on the chart while holding down the left click, drag to the left. All right, so pretty straightforward. This is what you're going to be looking at for your confirmations of your working orders as well as your fill transactions. Fill transactions are represented by the little markers, and then the working orders are represented, as you can see here. It'll show the order quantity as well as the order type, and you'll see these little lines that are parallel to where the order is actually working. Modifying working orders. When you display working orders on a chart, you can modify these orders directly on the chart. You can delete all orders at a price level, reprice orders by dragging them to a new price level. You can also display a floating order book that contains all the orders at that price level. Right-click or left-click on an order to display the floating order book. All right, so let's show you first how to modify an order just by simply left-clicking on the existing order type and dragging it and releasing. So in this case, let's say I want to move this sell stop from 21.21. I'm going to take my mouse cursor, hover it over. If you notice, when I'm not hovered over the order type, it's a regular crosshair, but when I'm hovered over the actual order type, it turns into a little hand icon. So that's a good indication letting you know that you're now hovered over the order type. Now you can go ahead and proceed to left click. While holding down the left click, to simply drag and release to the new amended price. So let's say I want to move that from 21.21 to 21.14 I'm still holding down the left click. I'm going to release it, and now you can see the order has been modified to the new price. So again, it's a left click, drag and drop. From my understanding, you can even right click, drag and drop. So it's personal preference whether you want to left click or right click. The main thing is holding down the click, whether it's a left click or right click. While holding down the left click, move your mouse cursor to the new amended price and release the click to modify the order. And in terms of the floating order book, if you left click on the order type, so you can see here LMT, which is limit, or SM, which is stop market, I can go ahead and left click, and what that does is you can see this little floating order book. This is another way to modify quantities, the price, and so pretty much what you can do here, for example, trigger price, if you're left clicking, it's going to reduce the price. If you right click, it's going to increase the price. So left click, right click, increase, left click, decrease. All right, once you've made your modifications, then you can go ahead and hit the check option here to send the order so it actually gets changed, and now you can see that's been modified. All right, so you can change the working quantity as well. The same way, left click to decrease, right click to increase. Once you make that change, you'll see that green check appear, which lets you know that you've made a modification, but you have not confirmed it yet until you click that green check option. I've done. All right, so that time, no change in the order because the quantity was the same. But pretty much that's all you would need to do. So in that case, there's a 4 lot, and now I've changed that to a 4 lot, as you can see. Displaying information for fills in an interval. So when you hover over a fill symbol, red or blue triangle on the chart, these representations here, the chart displays a tooltip with information about the fills for that interval. It shows each price and quantity of each fill that occurred during the interval, as well as the average fill price for the interval itself. And I do apologize, as I mentioned, because of the time that I'm demonstrating this video, market's not doing much. So I'm just going to show you a quick screenshot of a good example here of a screenshot of a position that this particular image shows. The total position is 28 long. All right, so and then you could see that there's a series of events that took place before the accumulation of 28 net long took place, and that's the entire average price there. But what's really cool is, let's say for example, if you scale in, you start adding positions, or whether it's a long or short, you can see the breakdown of the individual transactions that took place prior to your total position of 28. So in this case, there was a plus 10 at 111.23, another one at 111.24.5, and so forth. And it will tally up the totals and give you the total position of what your actual net position is. But below that, that's not bold, you'll see the breakdown of how those trades took place. And that's pretty much what the display information fulfills in an interval function does on the chart trader panel, and you can identify that information just by simply taking your mouse cursor and hover it over the markers that you see on the chart itself. As mentioned, red will represent the sells and blue will represent the buys. Creating custom chart trading widget groups. You can also create custom widget groups with order entry widgets such as the MD Trader to help you see the orders on a chart as soon as you place the order. The following example that I'm going to demonstrate in a bit will show you a widget group with a chart and an MD Trader widget. So as you submit orders in the MD Trader widget, they will appear on the chart, and then you can then modify the orders either in the MD Trader widget or the chart widget, and either one will automatically update since you're looking at the same symbol on both widgets, so they're in sync. All right, so a lot of times we'll get questions, is it possible, earlier I mentioned that you couldn't see the depth of market on the chart trader panel, and a depth of market might be something to you as a trader that you'd like to view. Unfortunately, since that particular function is not built into the chart trader panel just yet, an alternative, what you can do is pull up an MD Trader. So let me go ahead and just resize this chart for a bit, and I'm going to pull up an MD Trader, an existing one that I already have open. All right, so you can see that it's the same symbol, December mini S&P, December mini S&P. So what you can do is you can right-click on the top title bar of the MD Trader, and you'll see an option that says Group Widget. When you do that, what you're going to want to do is whatever widget you would like to group it with. So in this case, we want to group it with the chart trader. Just match the colors. So in this case, green and green, and it's going to snap in place. And then what I would probably recommend doing is disabling the order panel on the MD Trader by right-clicking on the MD Trader and just hide the order pane, as you can see here. And now you have essentially an MD Trader attached to the chart trader panel. So you can still place your trades off the MD Trader or the chart trader panel, but now you have the ability to see the depth of market, and you can use other functions such as VAP, volume at price, as you can see here. So this might be something that could be an alternative until the market depth function is either developed in the future. Whether it may be developed or not, I'm not too sure, but this could be a good alternative. And again, that's by utilizing the widget group function within TT Web. And as you can see here, when I start to place trades, let me change the order type for a second. So there's the order that you can see working. All right, and then you can see the positions are in sync. So on the top right corner of the MD Trader, you can also see there's a net long position of 1. You can see on the chart trader panel as well, the position is in sync. All right, so if I hit the liquidate button, watch what happens. Position is now closed, MD Trader is in sync, as well as the chart trader panel, and the orders are now canceled. All right, so that would be something that we recommend doing if you do like to see the market depth on the MD Trader alongside your chart trader panel. And then before we sign off, one last thing I want to show you on the chart trade panel. If you would like to activate this liquidate function, which is basically gives you the ability, so when you're in a position, let me just get into a quick trade here. All right, so I'm currently long 5, and I'm going to place a sell limit at 54.5. All right, and then the reason why you're not seeing it on the dome is because it's at 54.5 and the range of the price is outside. So if I scroll up a bit, there it is right there. All right, then I'll go ahead and place a sell stop. So always make sure to choose the appropriate order type when placing the orders. You always want to make a habit of looking at the order type on the top right corner. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and just place the sell stop. All right, so now we have the sell stop working and the sell limit. And then I'm going to right click on the chart trader panel, and then you're going to see this option right here. In this case, it's currently hidden, so watch if I hide it, the liquidate button goes away, but if I right click, I can go and show it, And I highly recommend it. It basically will close out the position at the current market price while simultaneously canceling all working orders with a single click. All right, so I'm long 5. I have 2 working orders. If I hit the liquidate button, position is now closed, and I no longer have any working orders.